Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us tonight and giving us the opportunity to share about profusion on this Monday evening. I'm not sure about you guys, but we are in a small town called Rubik West, and it is pretty cold this evening. It feels like there must be some snow on some mountain somewhere. So I would like to present to you guys a condensed version of our introductory, actually our Profusion launch presentation. We launched in March, where we had a very lengthy, very detailed presentation. I don't want to go into that presentation completely. I want to provide more time this evening for questions and answers, so that we can understand better where are your thoughts, what are your questions, what are your concerns potentially, and provide feedback as best we can. So my lovely wife Sunel, she posted in the comments a link to that detailed presentation. If memory serves, it was 45 minutes to an hour actually. So yeah, there's lots of content there, lots of value, lots of insight. You guys do have some time. Relax, get yourself something to drink, and have a look at that video if you didn't join us back in March. All right, so I'm going to take the floor then to my presentation. Let me share my screen. Let's see. All right. Is that working? Can everyone see my presentation? Just feedback from one of the executive members. Is it working? Good.
Visible.
All right. Okay, great. Perfect. Thank you very much. Okay. So Profusion Property Stokvel. By the way, profusion is a word that just means abundance, right? We believe that together, building wealth in property, we can create abundance for all our members, right? So the underlying principle, or let me rather say, now the word's gone. Let's say our underlying values, that's the word I was looking for, is bringing together brilliant minds, innovative, wealth-driven individuals, that's you, to realize a common goal of building and preserving wealth in the Western Cape property sector. While we're doing that, empowering the individual property investor through education, paired with a powerhouse of industry specialists. We'll get into that in a second. Ready to help you grow. Right. So we define a problem, and some people might think problem is a negative word. Let's say problem could equal opportunity, right? So the problem or challenge is the Western Cape market, that it's geographical location. In our property network, we have a large number of guys in Gauteng, in Bloemfontein, in PE, in KZN, who might like the idea of investing in the Western Cape, but just the geographical limitations could stop them from doing that. Also, there's a general price point challenge in the Western Cape, for Western Cape investments, right? As an individual, now this is more towards joining forces in the form of a stokvel, where as opposed to as an individual, you probably have an affordability ceiling where you can only invest in X amount of investments, right? In the education part as well, all investors need to invest in self-education. They will pay school fees, or they will pay school fees due to costly mistakes, or you pay for education, right? You just need to choose in which way you're going to pay. Then getting your house in order, finding that great investment is one piece of the puzzle. How do you plan and structure for tax efficiency, for generational wealth preservation, right? We also touch on that. Growth creates wealth. Not all property are good investments. Only the growth on your investments will generate wealth, right? So these are the problems which we believe create opportunity. So the solution that we are building, that we are putting on the table, is to be niche focused on the Western Cape inner city multi-let deals, with the local team continuously hunting for deals and analyzing the market. Then together we are creating access to deals, the whole, which is now the whole of the property Stokvel, the whole of the members combined, is greater than the sum of its parts. Members will leverage on the collective resources to access Western Cape deals. Together we can access amazing size commercial deals, blocks of flats, those kind of things. That's what we're looking at. We really promote a learning network. We always encourage learning, from online courses to site visits and even deal analysis sessions as each deal allows. Then we have in-house expertise, from deal structuring and tax to running the numbers and building the team. We're here. Right. So these are all the elements of the solution, trying to cover all the elements of the problem. Our potential partners, I'm sure many of you have seen many of these logos before. I'm not going to go into each one of them one by one, but we have from Flipping Fast, which is my wife and I. We have Tipa Homes, we have the Property Academy, we have financial services such as TUF, we have Tax Edu, which you guys know, Intergen, Bruno Samau, attorneys, SA Property Investors Network. That is obviously one of the core partners, which brings all of us together, right? Then a very quick Stokvel overview. Okay, just a bit of nitty-gritty to get those juices flowing, to hopefully entice some questions coming forward. So when you're ready to join the Stokvel, there will be a once-off joining fee. This is an admin fee of 1,000. Then you can either have a lump sum contribution, or you can have 3 monthly contributions. If your cash flow is more towards where you can contribute a smaller amount, but you can contribute 1 month after another. We're going to go into what a raising cycle looks like, but it's typically 3 months. So that's why I have the 3 monthly contributions within a raising period or raising cycle, right? By being a member, you'll benefit from profit share through dividends and or interest income, as well as equity, capital appreciation through property ownership, right? Then in terms of the back end or the moving parts of the Stokvel, we utilize the trusted platform of Stokvel, which is a secured online club savings account, which is provides efficient management, minimal admin, and transparency as well. Okay, our investment model is threefold. We raise funds. We have an investment cycle, including a 3 months raising cycle, a period, a 1 month to secure the deal, and then we invest in Profusion deals. So when that raising cycle has been completed, then we look at all the deals on the table and we choose the best performing opportunities, focused on cash flow positive multi-let deals. So the aim is to start earning from the day one of the deal, right? Secure earnings, as I mentioned, profit share and capital appreciation via ring-fenced property ownership. This is a more of a picture of our 3 months raising cycle. I'm an engineer, and I always like to explain with visuals, with pictures. Okay, so this is our 12-month plan, consisting of 1, 2, 3 raising, three investment cycles, which consists of 3 months raising finance, 1 month to secure the deal, and then rinse and repeat, pretty much. So the idea here is that when you join as a member, as we mentioned, you can either contribute a lump sum, or you can contribute over typically 3 months, and then you would be included in this first deal, for example. Okay. When the deal is on the table, we would communicate and we would choose the best deal we have, right? Then once that next cycle starts, as a member, you can decide you want to join in the next deal as well. You can contribute in the next cycle as well. Or if you are a member, a new member who missed that first cycle, there will be a next cycle where you can contribute and you can be part of the next deal, and so on. So this is a cycle which keeps going. Continuous opportunities for current members and for new members alike. Right. So the strategy for growth, as I said, the growth on the investment is going to generate wealth. So how are we going to scale our stokvel? We're going to do this through multi-let deals, which maximizes rental income and minimize the risk by spreading the risk. Right. Just as a definition point, if everyone is not familiar with the term multi-let deal, that just means that we have a property and we have multiple tenants. We are letting the property multiple times. Okay, this could be in the form of a block of flats. It could be smaller. It could be a nice old big house that you can subdivide, that you can put some flats, you can convert the garage, that kind of thing. That's a general definition of a multi-let. Also in the process, area rejuvenation, right? Because our aim is to spot potential, to see potential where others don't. Okay, and then forced equity through renovation and or conversion. Conversion could be it's an office block that we convert into residential flats, as an example, right? And then thirdly, to leverage our network. I'm sure most of you have heard the phrase that your net worth equals your network. So we are heavily dependent and heavily focused on leveraging our network, from financial partners, structuring and tax, to construction and property management, all of the above. Meet the team. This is our executive team, executive members of Profusion. From the left, you all know Shirley Boy Motiba, a chartered accountant. He's our chairperson. Myself, Louis Skitakat. I have a master's in engineering. I'm our secretary. Then we have Lucky Motiba, also an engineer, a civil engineer with a bunch of really big civil projects under the belt. Okay, Lucky is our treasurer. And then we have my wife, Sunal Skitakat, also with a master's in engineering. She is our validation officer. She's the one that runs these huge Excel spreadsheets for deal analysis and area analysis and all those kind of fun things. Right, so this is the team. So the next steps, if you are ready to join, us in this first raising cycle, the steps are pretty simple. You can send a WhatsApp to this number, 074-589-6439. You will get a link to a pretty short form. It's an online form that you can complete. Then your application will be evaluated and we'll send you a link to sign up to Stokvel. There you'll be approved on Stokvel, and from there you can make payments. It's as easy as that. So I believe that's the end of our condensed presentation. Thank you very much for your attention. I'm going to stop sharing my screen so we can go directly to the questions and answers. So yes, the floor is actually open. Anyone ready with a question?
Thank you so much, Louis. Thank you so much. I actually felt sold as I was watching. You know when you're always talking, sometimes you miss the opportunity of seeing things and then observing from certain perspectives. So I'm sold. And yeah, we, like you said, let's open for questions. For those who wants to ask questions, you're more than welcome to ask questions. Who wants to go first? Okay, on the chat box, I see that Sunil shared our detailed presentation. and someone is struggling with network. I see Jonathan is also joining back. You're welcome, Jonathan. I see Mancha, you are a latecomer. I see Mancha. Yeah, so those who have questions can shoot. Jonathan, you want to say something? I see you on mute.
No. Unfortunately, let me mute.
Ah, okay. But you're free to ask questions, eh? Mkhumudzi? Okay, Mkhumudzi is not with us. Donovan, any questions, any comments, any feedback, any improvement, any suggestions that you might be having? What's your take?
Thank you, Shiriboy. Yeah, I think my questions are pretty much answered. You know, it was mentioned that you know, may there be anything that you see. Obviously, it can be mentioned to. I'm sure the executive members have you know, extensive experience. So might there be anything out there? And I think also the way or the structure that the deals would be worked out, you know, in the 3 months period. I think I just had, I just needed some clarification about that, and it was answered tonight as well. So I think for now we should be good. Just looking forward for some other guys to join in.
That's good, man. Thank you so much for your kind words. Mkhumudzi, I see you raised your hand. Please go ahead. There's an issue of network. You know, the load shedding is causing a lot of network issues, because I see a lot of people are joining and getting out, and there's no, it's definitely a network issue. Mkhumudzi, go ahead, please. I see
okay,
Manchester struggling to connect. Manchester, if you can hear us, please exit and rejoin. It normally works. I don't know why, but it does the magic Zoom if you do that. Go ahead, Mkhumudzi.
All right, thank you. I wanted to ask, because I heard when Jonathan was presenting there, is Jonathan or the presenter there? He was saying the joining fee is 1,000 rand. And he mentioned the issue of once off, but somewhere it seems like I heard he was saying yearly. So I was a bit confused. And the second question is with regard to what do you call the cycle period for the contribution for investment. Is there any specific amount that is expected from us to invest with? Is there any specific amount, let's say for lump sum or per 3 quarter cycle? Is there any specific amount? And yeah, the other one I'll ask after.
Okay, Louis, do you perhaps maybe want to share the first question regarding the terms? I think maybe you might have missed something, and then I'll also attempt to ask the specification around any amount expected from. Maybe when you're still looking to that, Louis, I can answer the second question. Mkhumudzi, thanks for the questions, and I appreciate that, and it's always nice to clarify such. Look, ideally, the minimum contribution is about 30K, ideally. We make now and then make exceptions for those, and it has to do with some of non-financial value adds that they bring on the table. Then we tend to consider those with less than 30,000 contribution over the raising cycle, right? So, but ideally, we prefer 30K. But that doesn't mean if you don't have a 30K, you can't reach out. You can still reach out, but we'll have to look at some other non-financial factors. So that's to answer your question, and I'm sure that you answered. But then you can actually contribute even R1 million. You can even contribute R1 billion. So I would love to know someone with R1 billion cash. So but then to answer your question, basically what I'm trying to say is that you can contribute as much as you wish to, but the minimum ideally we want 30K.
All right.
All
Thanks,
right,
Shirley
thank
boy.
you.
Can I tackle question number 1?
Yes, please go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry for the confusion. I might have rushed over that concept. So the idea here, I have my 12 months plan presented again here. So we have let's call it an investment cycle, which includes a 3-month raising cycle where we raise funds, where we entice new members to join, and old or let's call them existing members to invest additional amounts. Okay, but the idea is that we have 3 months where we raise funds, then we invest in a specific deal, right? So at that point, when we are ready to invest, then we consolidate all the funds that were raised, all the members that contributed those funds, they get entered into that investment, right? So then that specific investment would be structured depending on what the investment is itself, right? But then those members that contributed in that cycle, they are in that investment, and depending how much you've contributed, you would earn a part. You would own a part of that investment, right? Now we've completed cycle number 1. Okay, and if you only wanted to join in cycle number 1 and you only wanted to be part of investment number 1, then that's 100%. You won't be expected to. There's no annual or continued contributions expected. Okay, but now we are done with investment cycle number 1. Now we're going to investment cycle number 2, which is ideally going to start between July and August. Now the whole thing starts again. Now you as an existing member can decide you want to invest an additional amount to be part of deal number 2 or not. Okay, so in investment cycle number 2, we would expect to still be what's the word? Recruiting new members, as well as enticing existing members who are happy with the service, happy with how we are managing this Stokvel to join in deal number 2 again. But if their funds do not allow, or life happens, whatever is the story, they could wait for deal number 3, for example. So I hope that clarifies that that question in terms of there's no annual fees, or there's no continued contribution expected. It's a case of when you can contribute, join us, join deal number 1. If you cannot, join deal number 2, or join both. I hope that answers the question.
Mkhomotsi, are you answered?
I'm partly answered. So I'm raising a question here. So for that joining fee of 1,000 rand, for every deal, should I pay that 1,000 rand joining fee and also contribute that 30,000 and above? Or let's say I want to do that, but that joining fee, it's a once-off, yearly, or every year, or per deal. That's okay. 1,000 rand.
Okay. And I think I like your question, Mkhomotsi. Let's put it this way. When you join for a specific cycle, there are certain administration costs that needs to be taken into account, right? You know, there's constitution that needs to be drafted. As when you're going to sign up, you sign up to a constitution. The way do you see where I'm going with this? So it covers things like that, right? And then that raising period is going to be locked. Would you agree with me on that? And
Yes,
then
yes, I do.
and then it might be that that same pool of members, we saying, listen, guys, the money that we've raised is not sufficient. We want to open up this thing for until the end of the year, right? And then we open it up, right? So it doesn't mean you have to do what? Contribute, because you are already inside that pool. So the work that was done to constitute that pool, so you kind of contributed with that 1,000. Say then after the end of December, then we find that we raise sufficient capital to be part of a specific deal. Can you see that when we open up a specific news cycle, the people that join for that news cycle will have to contribute to certain costs that are involved in setting up that news cycle. Can you see?
Yes.
This is where then those people who participate in that cycle will then have to contribute towards that.
Okay.
Do you see where I'm going? Because you still have to constitute, you still have to go back to there are time involved in these things. There are fees, there are lawyers involved and to draft all these things. So one way or another, someone has to pay for them.
All right. I get it.
Yeah. So it's not like every month or once a year or what. It's based on that period of capital raising. Cool. Is there any other question, guys? Mancha, you've been struggling to I think that the beauty is that most of you guys are also on Text A2ZA WhatsApp group, which is fine. For those who might not be, I think almost everyone here is on that WhatsApp group. So that's fine. So thank you so much, guys. I think that would be it. And yeah, we look forward to some of you guys who Mohammed, go ahead. Mohammed, you are on mute, but your hand is raised. Do you want to say something? I'm not sure if you want to talk.
Is that maybe a bye-bye wave?
Oh, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. Okay, Muhammad, I don't know but you've got my WhatsApp, so you'll reach out if you wanted to say something, because I'm not sure, because you can't unmute yourself, so I'm not sure what is happening. So yeah, thank you so much, guys. I appreciate Profusion team to come to share with us. Every month we'll share with you guys when they want to share some good news with you guys. They'll be telling us on their status about property deals that they're working on now and then, so they might end up running deals analysis at some point with you guys. I don't know. So that is the decision that they need to take on their side. So if you want to join, I see Louis has steps on how to go about joining the Profusion. And if you want to refer people to us, maybe I'll challenge the Profusion team to come up with a model to say, what do we do if someone referred people to us? So maybe I'll put it to you, Louis, to say,
that's an excellent idea. Yeah.
What do we do if we were to refer members to join Profusion? How do we compensate and reward that other party? So I don't know. I can't make that decision, guys. But yeah, so thank you so much, guys, and good evening, and keep contributing. Do you want to say something, Mukhumuzi?
Yes, but I think you were touching on it because I was trying to check the model for the one Louis or maybe the wife prepared. The one that you're talking about that says how will, let's say I pop out 1 million or 30,000. How will one what is the percentage? How do you calculate the percent aligned to my contribution?
Okay, so such information, because there's an IP involved. Normally, when someone has joined us, before we structure a deal or before we conclude a deal, such information gets shared, and then a member gets given opportunity whether to participate or to withdraw. So we don't make such information public to protect our IP, because you can imagine there's a lot of thinking that gets done behind the scenes to come up with such models. So we wouldn't want to just share freely with everyone, if you don't mind.
Also, maybe from my perspective, listening to the question, and another point I would just like to bring across is that for us to tell you, maybe, okay, the return is going to be 10% or 16% or 20%. We cannot do that at this stage. Once we have those deals on the table, once we've completed that raising cycle, and at that stage we're looking at the deals on the table, which ones we can take now, which are the best ones to take. Then we would share the analysis of those deals and say, okay, this deal has this specific structure because of XYZ specific to that deal, and it would have these kind of returns specific to that deal.
Exactly.
I hope that also assists.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, like I said, the fact that the money is in the trust account, it doesn't mean it's ours. It's still yours. It's still your money. So you can decide then to pull out and you'll get your money. So that's pretty much. It's very transparent, very easy to join, very easy to exit. So yeah. But such information is a privileged information that will be shared with the members once everything is consolidated, and people will have a freedom to join or to pull out or wait for the next cycle. So there's a huge freedom and transparency across. Anyway, thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much to the rest of the team. If I can appreciate the executive team to remain behind, and the rest of you, let's keep engaging on TaxEduZA WhatsApp group. Don't forget, that is my part. This is not my part. There's a webinar next week on the 7th. For those who haven't bought the tickets, check on TaxEdu WhatsApp group. There's a link to buy those tickets for the webinar. And then for those who are in Joburg, we are also meeting on the 18th of June for brunch. And we got a blend. They call it a blending. And we'll try to see how we build the ecosystem within TaxEduZA and our strategic partners. Otherwise, Mukhomodzi, yes.
Okay, yes. I've seen that we currently focusing on Cape Town as an investment area based on the reasons that you alluded even before. And let's say maybe I identify maybe a site, maybe around Gauteng, and then let's say maybe it's a land, and maybe probably have maybe a new method of development, where maybe would want maybe probably this Stokvel to probably look at and say, okay, this is how the new buildings can be built, and we have this land, and can maybe probably or are we focusing only on Cape Town as an investment area only, or maybe can Profusion also refocus maybe for that specific idea? Probably, let's say maybe we find a funding, and we see how best maybe you can refund or pay back the loan, or maybe it's a free grant, whatever, if maybe one can find from America or wherever. It's an example. And then can Profusion refocus probably on such maybe proposals if they come with one of maybe other members?
Yes, Mukhomodzi. To be more clear, the answer is that we currently still, our business model is still nichely focusing on Western Cape. at large, not only Cape Town. So we don't see ourselves in the next couple of 36 months or so, or 4 years, focusing in other parts of the country other than Western Cape. But however, if you've got opportunities like that in other parts of the country, you're more than welcome to reach out to some of us. We can either introduce you to our partners. I mean, Sapen Community, for instance, is one of our partners. There's a lot of investors with interest in these parts of the country. So we're more than welcome to link you up with people that we think will add value to you, and that we've worked with, and we can trust that you can do something sustainable with them. So, but obviously we can only vouch, but I mean, it's up to you to do the due diligences and things like that. So I think that's how we can assist you going forward if you identify certain opportunities outside Western Cape.
All right, thank you, Chile.
Okay, guys, good evening, good night. Let's keep engaging on the Text EduZA WhatsApp group and make sure that it's vibrant and we're learning something. And let's participate rather on those sessions that are outside the WhatsApp group, so that we are able to grow and preserve the wealth. Good evening, good night.